Hello and welcome to Racers Now for the massive Boxing Day betting preview here with SD. Little bit of a spoiler alert. There is 16 bets SD is advising in the next 20 minutes or so. So we're going to get cracking. No time for small talk really, SD, with the amount of action that's
Well, friend of the channel's at Sedgefield.
Oh, well, that's all we need to know. Shall we end the show there?
Yes.
King George. We spoke last night on Monday, covering the 4 Grade 1s that take place on Boxing Day. The King George being one of those, and the headline story for that on Tuesday at Declarations was Factor File declared. Jango, Baie, Gaelic Warrior, and the rest declared as expected. But yeah, there was question marks over Factor File. He is running. SD has
he's declared to run. It's not.
Sorry. He's declared. Sorry. SD has advised Jango Baie at 7-2 a few weeks ago. He was 3-1 on Monday last night, and SD would have been happy to back him at that price. Also, he's around 11-4 now. Do we need to say any more on the King George?
No, you've had a preview on Twitter. Go and see it.
Yes, SD in his tracksuit looks like he's just come out of Broadmoor. The one bet at Kempton we are looking at though, SD,
is 2 bets.
Sorry. The Christmas Hurdle. Grade 1, 155. You are looking at the without market, as you alluded to earlier in the week, because Sergino is 4-7, and you do not like the form of Golden Ace.
No, I don't like the form of Golden Ace. It'll upset these people who say, "Oh, this horse has achieved so much." Well, yes, I suppose she's won a champion hurdle, so we might be being a little bit harsh, but from a form point of view, in the cold light of day, it doesn't amount to much.
Yeah, both things can be true. She's done really well to win those races, but they weren't very good races. They're the facts.
Them's the facts. I was interested in the without market here. Cast your mind back to the 22nd of February, where Tripoli Flyer absolutely whooped Celtic Dino's arse in the Dovecote. Yeah. Now, my fairly strong belief with Tripoli Flyer is Kempton is this horse's track. It was a clear PB there. He's a better horse right-handed. He's a better horse with decent ground, and I think they're going to get decent ground. He hasn't took to chasing hitherto. It's interesting, the chase starts have been right-handed as well, so there's a clear preference to go right-handed. And the without market is almost skewed towards Celtic Dino and Golden Ace. Now, if there's a hole in Golden Ace, I mean, which I think there is, you would look at Celtic Dino, but there's then that form line, isn't there? My inclination is to play the without market Tripoli Flyer. The cheek pieces are on, and I am more than happy to take 14s with that.
Yep, so on SD's form line, Celtic Dino's 15-2 to win the race. Tripoli Flyers 40-1 to win the race. So there is a disparity there, and you get that disparity reflected in the without market. SD, big lover.
Oh, we got some breaking news. Breaking news.
Oh.
Just a second.
Oh, here we go. Is this actual news, or is this going to be something?
No. This is literally coming through. There is a friend of the channel notebook course, probably for the future, rather than Friday. It is Colt Henry in the 12:20 at Sedgefield. So that notebook now, he did very well with El Jefe, probably should have won. And there's his future notebook course. He's saying he's covering his arse. So there we go. When we get on to Sedgefield, I'll have a look at that.
Okay, handicap hurdle finishes the card at Kempton on Saturday, SD. 2 miles, 5
Friday.
furlongs. Friday, I can't keep up. Friday. Yes, are you having a bet in this 340, 11 declared?
And he fancies very little, which is unusual for a Boxing Day. Live communication with friend of the channel. Yes, I do. I think a lot of these aren't good ground horses, which it will be. Please don't irrigate Barney Clifford. Friend of the channel says the Sedgefield bumper is very interesting.
I'm sick of hearing about friend of the channel now. Thank you.
I know, it's great, isn't it? This will please Brian Bowers. 2 mile 5 handicap hurdle to finish the card. You know, King of the Road. You remember that song, don't you?
Vaguely, yes.
Yes, yeah. He was second in this last year behind East India Express. I'm not going to sing it. Well, that form's worked out all right because East India Express now has an official rating of 133, up £10. King of the Road is now rated 113, down £2. So do the math. Basically, the horse likes top of the ground. Hasn't had it. The horse is also better on a right-handed track. Hasn't had it. So I just thought it had been running under the wrong conditions, and I thought 22s was big enough for this horse. I think that's one of the better bets that we're going to put up, certainly.
Okay, good. King of the Road, 22-1 for SD. Off to Aintree we go then, SD. 5 runners in this.
Yes, friend of the channel just text the card is rubbish.
Brilliant, thanks. If we want friend of the channel on, we'll ask him to come on like last week, but not every week. This is the SD show. Handicap chase, 12:30, Aintree, 2.5 miles. Only the 5 runners. What was you thinking?
Well, I thought this Prairie Wolf was sufficiently interesting. Again, probably ran one of his better races last time in a better race than this at Newbury, and I thought 4-1 was perfectly fair for this very fair and consistent horse. They didn't fancy it at all on the comeback at Wetherby. It ran well, and it ran well enough last time off this mark to be of interest here. I mean, there's a chance, I suppose, Josh the Boss could steal it from the front. The old Rowland form isn't anything at all. That's becoming a bit of a recurring theme year on year. And I thought 4-1 was perfectly fair for Prairie Wolf.
Okay, good. Now we're moving on to the 140 at Aintree. 8 runners in that one. Handicap hurdle there. Again, 2.5 miles SD.
Yes, yeah. You remember Rubber Ball. Bobby V sang Rubber Ball. Do you not know that song?
No.
Of course you don't. You're a cultural desert.
Well, I was listening to a bit of DMX before we came on here, SD. Do you not know any DMX songs?
Is that some sort of bike in drag thing?
No. You'll have to Google it after the show.
It'll just be this gangster rap. I mean, you think you're some gangster from the East End when in reality you're an egg living in Wigan.
Good, I like it.
Right. Yes, Rubber Ball. I thought last time was all right. Showed considerable promise as a novice hurdler. I don't think this horse wants the ground too soft. Neil King's in form. I thought 11-1 was perfectly fair. The mark of 125 based on the novice form looks workable. Again, there's a chance, Bear Market could just tear off in front and never be seen again. Florida Dreams never seems to win. I mean, I've put it up often enough. So I just thought this horse offered something in terms of an upside vis-a-vis improvement and stable form.
Okay, good. That's Rubber Ball. One more at
Aintree.
One more at Aintree in the 2:15 SD. We've skipped the Formby novices because we don't know enough about them, frankly. Handicap chase, a 3 mile, 1 furlong, is at 2:15 on Saturday. Again, a dead 8 runners in there at the moment. Some familiar names, including.
What do you mean, including?
Kelce, who you've tipped already before this season.
Have I?
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, pass me by. Yeah, Kelce's, probably would have gone very close to beating O'Connell in the Lincolnshire National last year. Was also entered in the Lincolnshire National. Significant the Mulholland team come here. I think there's certainly scope from the handicap mark is off a mark of 117 now. There was a lot of promise on the first run. The ground was too heavy on the second run this year, when just ran out of petrol in an amateur jockey's handicap chase at Cheltenham. Handicapper rudely put him up for that, but he's only a pound higher. And I thought he had a fairly good chance here. The rest of them are frankly much of a muchness. Snipe never wins. Sunset Hill probably needs a bog. You can make a case for Fortunate Man, but who knows how fit it'll be.
Yeah, just a caveat I really should have got in earlier, or a point of note. We're going quite early. We're not working Christmas Eve. And yeah, some of these markets are still forming. There's a handful of bookmakers taking bets. So as usual, we just go on whatever is the best available at the time. It's SD's job to tip them. It's your job, the viewer and the listener, to get your bets on. Right.
Even if it is your second cousin twice removed, who you only speak to at Christmas. Handy to speak to relatives at this time of year. You might only get paid next Christmas, but ho, ho, ho.
Yes, very good. Right, you're going to Sedgefield on Boxing Day. Friend of the
Oh, of
channel,
course.
Sedgefield on Boxing Day, and you have got 3 bets, I think, to advise there. Starting in this 11:45, the first race. You'll be an early start for USD to get to Sedgefield. What time will you be setting off?
It'll be just after 7, I would think.
Okay, good. The 11:45 is nearly 2.5 miles handicap chase. One of them go north things.
One of them go, no, well, it doesn't matter for dear old Tom Creen, because Tom Creen is a better horse around Sedgefield than anywhere else. It's that simple. I was quite surprised they chalked him up at 13-2, back down to last winning mark from last year from the very shrewd Sam England yard. He won this last year straight from the front. It may well be a similar story again. They gave him a spin around Haydock at the start of the month. The handicap has put him down 2 for that. As I say, he's just such a better model at Sedgefield than anywhere else. That I thought he'd be somewhere near favourite for this. Yes, he's getting on a little bit, but you know he's a pretty potent weapon around here. To be fair, it's a good race. We've got Savar in there. We've got Scorsese in there, who could direct them all. You've got Double Digits in there, who I thought might be a better horse over fences, but might just need a run or two. Raffles Wonders in there, and Becky would love a winner at Sedgefield on Boxing Day. More of that very shortly. Just worth pointed out in the 12. What was this? What was this friend of the channel horse?
Oh God, I forgot already.
I better have a quick look at it.
Cold Henry. It's in the
Old
12,
Henry.
It's in the 12.20. It's a whopping price at the moment.
It's 33-1. It's it ran 4th in a maiden hurdle at Hexham when friend of the channel would have been there. That clearly piqued his interest. He's a big fan of Neville Ender. He always mentions Neville Ender in passing. Clearly one for handicap marks for friend of the channel.
Yeah, good. The next Sedgefield race for SD is the 125 there. So we're skipping a couple. And this is the Ready to Welcome the New Year handicap chase.
That's an original bloody title, isn't it?
Yeah, particularly for Boxing Day.
I mean, what on earth? Yeah, just try a bit harder, you know.
What they should try instead is, we haven't got a sponsor for this race, handicap chase.
Yes, or did you try and give your wife a good stuffing yesterday, handicap chase? Or, you know.
Go on then.
Did the Brewers droop creep that? Anyway. What's on the A83? Been on the A83. It's a lovely road.
No.
It's the Restandbethankful. It's a landmark on the A83.
I've probably been on the A83 with you. I've told this story before. We once went to Sedgefield and they passed 6 inspections and still raced. That's the only ever time.
Yes. These were in your adventurous days. The A83, of course, goes down the Mull of Kintyre, so it's not near any racecourse unless you get the ferry to Ayr from Campbelltown. But anyway.
As you will not know anything about football, Mull of Kintyre is the song they sing before every Nottingham Forest home game.
And you didn't know where the A83 was, and I bet you didn't know Campbelltown was at the bottom of the Mull of Kintyre, did you?
No.
Shame on you.
I've heard of Campbelltown, but I didn't know.
Great.
Anyway, are we tipping horses or are we giving geography and football lessons?
Well, it's nice, isn't it? Dear old Lizzie Quinlan, completely been in the doldrums. I'm afraid she's not had a winner since the summer. So the stable is in absolutely rotten form, but she's having a do at Sedgefield, and you know, sometime the tide will turn. And if you say the horses have been off colour, Restandbethankful was running perfectly good races off pretty lofty marks. You know, he was he was third of six at Cartmel back in July, off a mark of 100. He's tumbled. He's now running off 84 here, and it might just be worth giving him a chance. He is better on top of the ground. There's a reasonably dry forecast. I thought he'd run well. I must say I am in the Ursa horse Huirifle, who is expected to run pretty well, and I think they might just beat Dixie Cowboy. But the problem is this potential handicap blot of Restandbethankful might have just gone at the game. But I thought each way 3 places 11-1. It was perfectly fair.
Yep. Well, we're not even halfway through yet, so we best get rolling, SD. Handicap hurdle, Sedgefield, 2:35, 2 miles and a half. 9 runners in there. Heretier, another Ursa horse, is in there as well.
Yes. Now, while we're on about Heretier, the channel does have a very small stake in this horse, so we will bring you some exclusive content from there. Heretier generally runs very, very well at Sedgefield, and you know, he ran a reasonable race in this last year. Now, on Racing Post ratings, which I know you adore, that was near enough a PB. Despite
just
him finishing
a tool now and again, not every time.
Yes, a tool for a tool. Yeah. The good news with Heretier is the mark has dropped. He was 111 in this last year, now plummeted to a mark of 95. I have to say, last time at Kelce, at Carlisle rather, was quite disappointing. She thought she had him bang on that day, absolutely bang on, and I tipped him, and the result, I'm afraid, left something to desire. But I do hope Heretier, the best jockey in the race, is on it. I thought the most interesting horse was this filly of Becky Menz's. Miss Friday Lions might be, I think, is very, very interested. Ran last time, was far too far back in a Newcastle novice hurdle, and piqued my interest after that. The horse has been third in a Class 2 bumper at Kelce, and manages to make handicap debut off a mark of 92. I think that could underestimate this one's ability. And I thought quotes of 6-1 were very fair. Again, one of the better bets on Boxing Day.
Yep, fair enough. Right, we're off to Wetherby now, SD. Yes, and in there 3:20, there's a 2 mile handicap.
Don't forget the Rowland Meyrick.
Yes, should we mention the Rowland Meyrick? What time does that go off? 1:35. 1:35, SD earlier in the week tipped up this Konfusion, anti-post Konfusion with a K, 2-1. He said it would be going off at 6-4. It's actually 11-10 as we speak. So good work from SD there. 5 declared. SD's on at 2-1 as advised yesterday evening.
Yeah, I think that one will win. Where are we going? What race was it again?
We are going to the 3:20, where not Big Mojo, but there is Mojo Ego in this race that I think.
Yeah, Mojo Ego. Jimmy Moffat, he's quite an in and out trainer, Jimmy. When he's in form, he's in, and when he's out, he's completely and utterly in the wilderness, like being stuck in the Australian outback without any fluids. But he had one run very well. Probably should have won at Haydock on Saturday had it met the last right. And I thought Mojo Ego ran well enough at Aintree on what was probably a bit of a farce of a race because they didn't jump all of the hurdles. To be of interest here, the second has won since, hurrah, won at Haydock on Saturday. So the form ties in quite well. The handicap mark's gone down. I mean, it is worth pointing out that Mojo Ego began life in handicaps off a mark of 117. Again, gone down to 98. That looks very workable to me, and I think will go particularly well here with Charlotte Jones on board, who's quite a nice jockey.
SD, we're 20 minutes in. You've tipped 8 horses, and we had to have a double dip. Are you going to rectify that immediately, please?
I'm going to rectify that. It's great. John Dixon, of course, is is a fantastic permit holder in Carlisle. He's been going, honestly, he's been going as long as I've been going racing, which is 30 odd years. His son rides them. His son can be a little bit trigger happy in the saddle, but there was a lot more last time at Wetherby. Ran fourth. Didn't jump well in the latter stages of the race. I think he'd jump in better here. Again, appears a fairly well handicapped animal, and John Dixon has had some success on this card before, many years ago, and probably just looks worth playing each way. They're paying 4 places. I thought that was fair, and looks interesting here. Hourless.
Off to Market Rasen we go for the Lincolnshire National, which I predicted SD would be having a bet in, and of course he definitely is. 257, 3 mile, 3.5 furlongs, stamina to the 4. What are you backing?
Well, I think you have to back the Big Break. Danny's on board. The Smith Yard is still on fire. Ran in a race that's beginning to work out quite nicely at Newcastle last time. Which I thought was significant because the second Zarakar has since won a Cheltenham handicap chase. It was won by Dom and Mary. I think the slight step back in trip is probably in the Big Break's favour. It was probably towards the edge of this one's stamina limits last time. I don't think anyone would argue that Danny McManaman is a better pilot than Peter Kavanagh today. And look, the opposition I was going through, I suppose Mount Fuji Park suddenly, come back to life. I suppose Red Delta might improve for the step up in trip. But I don't suppose Ali Starbert will win because he's a far better horse around Southwell. And I think in reality the big break should be clear favourite here. I wouldn't want to be laying 2-1 about him.
Yeah, at this stage, SD, I'm going to give a shout out to someone that you appeared when you was very drunk on that evening of the awards evening, when you said there was going to be no daily tips tomorrow. Luke Parkinson, from one of the betting providers, he did a stable tour with Joel Parkinson and Sue Smith earlier this week, and it was pretty good. So
yes, well done, Luke. Luke's a very good lad, and it was nice that he did a little bit for disability access at Cartmel earlier in the year, and I'm glad they've sorted that out there.
Well, there you go. That's a polite.
I will see Luke soon somewhere.
Usually we're slagging people off, but we'll give a polite shout out this week. Right, the lucky last Market Rasen on Saturday, 10 runners, 3:32 p.m., 2 miles, 2.5 furlongs. This is a handicap hurdle, and I'm not even going to try. And Rand Farm Park, Merry Little Christmas handicap hurdle. Away you go.
Merry Little Christmas. Yeah, it wasn't that hard, was it? Never mind.
It just looked a bit strange visually.
Yeah, Jehol De Thaix. I tipped this last time as a non-runner at Musselburgh. The ground went a bit soft. Dry and forecast will suit this. They absolutely pummeled this first time up at Wetherby. The stable hadn't had a winner this season. Well, for months at the time. Had a winner the day after. Was back from 12s to 6s and didn't run particularly well. There was sufficient promise, certainly in the novice days. Where you would think that this horse is probably a well-treated animal, and I was just a bit surprised that off a mark of 100 that they put this up at double figures. So I'm more than happy to pay Jehol De Thaix. I have to say, it's for the grade, it's a pretty good race. As Fast as Win just ran out of petrol last time at Sedgefield when completely looking the winner. You can make a case for Naomi Ladd as well. I'm not sure As Fast as Wind is a complete and utter 2.5 miler, and I must give a shout out to Secret Vino who won at Southwell. But I just thought Jehol De Thaix was interesting. I've just seen this awful Christmas regalia that's all over the screen. Where have you got that from? It looks like you got it from Home Bargains or something.
Yeah, it's festive, ST. It's festive. Right, so we've been to Kempton, we've been to Aintree, Sedgefield, Wetherby, Market Rasen. Now we're off to Wincanton for ST's favourite race of Boxing Day. This is the Happy Birthday Racing Blogger Handicap Chase at Wincanton. 203
yes,
on Boxing.
Happy birthday, Racing Blogger. Happy 50th to you, sir. I thought this was worth a double dip.
You're double dipping in Racing Blogger.
I'm double dip. Well, it's not the sort of thing you hear every day, is it? Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Quickly on to this. Pedley Wood, I thought ran well enough at Exeter over a trip that would be short of his optimum to be winning this. I think there's still mileage off a mark of 110. Goes particularly well around Wincanton, won 2 here around this time last year. And I thought might be a little bit shorter than 7-2, and it might just be worth chancing Pilsdon Pen's Stamina, who again is a completely different model around Wincanton than elsewhere. Won here last time, only been nudged up 2. We don't know if he stays, but his record at Wincanton is particularly good. You know, he's won his last 3 starts here, and I thought at 8-1. It was worth chancing the Stamina rather, you know, I expected the horse to be shorter.
Okay, fair enough. Also with Wincanton, we're having a look at this 345, 1 mile 7 furlong, so under the minimum distance for a jump race.
Might not be with rail movements.
Yeah, I was being facetious. Worth £4,753 to the winner, so a really good class 4 race.
Dear old Prince Rhinegold, I'm afraid, is out the weights here. But
chasing that big prize.
Linda Blackford every now and again gets a very big price winner, and it is just worth pointing out that this horse has run absolutely deplorably elsewhere other than Wincanton, where in November 24 finished 3rd. And last time, you know, was 2nd here. It was a fairly promising effort. It was a weak as piss race, but it was over C&D. I was just surprised they short this one up at 25. It's not the biggest stretch of the imagination to think that this horse, you know, something's just clicked in his head. And in what is a fairly weak affair, you know, you got Thank You and Please, who's had 2 outings in absolutely bottomless conditions, as Fav. I think he'll run well here. I don't think we're stretching too far in the realms of possibility to say Prince Rhinegold will run well for dear Linda Blackford, who's been pottering around the West Country, you know, probably longer than Thatcher's Cider has. So yeah,
he's got a lot going for him, this horse. He's £9 out the handicap, and the trainer hasn't had a winner for 265 days. But other than that, it's got a right chance of 25-1. Are we going to?
Are you going to lay us? Are you going to lay us then?
I've got absolutely no interest in disparaging. You're the best tipster in the game, and I've not got any interest in laying you. But now and again, I'll give you a little bit of stick for some of your selections. Right. Why not go to Fontwell for one of their races? 3 mile, 2 furlong, handicap chase through 252. This is the 14th and final race we'll be covering in this amazing episode of Races Now. Right, what we're doing, SD?
Well, I think Isabel Ryder is very good, very good. And God knows what's caught your eye.
Sorry. Carry on.
The missus must be adorned in tinsel or something. Anyway, yeah, Record High, I just didn't think was ridden well last time in the Southern National, was just basically never put in the race. They absolutely pummeled this horse in the betting. They clearly thought something was better. Loves going round Fontwell in a small field. You know, it hasn't had that many goes. This is only its 8th chase start. They put him down £1 for a bad ride, and in a fairly similar affair was 2nd off a mark of 99. Isabel's doing the steering, taking a valuable few pounds off. and against, you've got horses like Esse Parti, who's a lot better model around Dross Lass, and you've got this Chris Gordon horse who's never jumped a fence, although has been pointing. I thought Rhinegold should be favourite, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think it will be going off favourite, to be fair. I'm just what you. I'm just going to give shout out SD to. We've had the comment of the day. There's been a lot of content on Races Now Twitter in the last 72 hours.
It's been like a hamster in a wheel. Did you see, by the way, before you do your comment of the day, I sent you the daily selections at 7:57, and God knows what you were doing until 8:30.
Monday, was it? Monday.
Yeah. What are you doing? I thought you died.
Because I'm such an open book. Do you want me to tell you the truth, Esty?
Yeah.
You've often made disparaging comments about my my propensity to alcohol intake, both publicly and in private.
Yes, you weren't having a mid-morning Malibu, were you?
On Sunday night, I had 3 pints of beer, and I was sick on Monday morning. So that, as a 36-year-old, is an embarrassing story.
36. That's
that not many people would admit to, but that's what happened. So yeah, that's what happened. I was in bit. I've never been a drinker, as you know.
Pints?
So,
You're like
3 pints.
I must be allergic. Woman.
I must be allergic. It's shocking. Anyway,
what you need to do is get over the allergy. Just keep drinking, and look at you. You're a shell.
Comment of the day goes to WM on Twitter at VivaWN_1987. This is in regards to SD's runner by runner guide to the King George, where SD stood up with his grey on grey tracksuit on outside the usual bush in the garden at work, and it says Cat D open prison on Tuesday, Kempton racecourse on Friday. So I really did quite like that. Yeah, open prison SD attire there. We had some really good comments to SD. We put your video up earlier of your show reel, if you like, of the year that was. It's already done 25,000 views.
Yes, dear old Louis did very well there, didn't he? With the camera work.
He did. Credit to him. And can we just mention as SD's just tipped 16 horses with an additional 2 ante.
Are you going to tip one? Go on, tip one.
No, there's absolutely no space for me to tip. We're already at 32 minutes. I've been typing up your selections for God knows how long. My microphone's now playing up. You're all discombobulating me.
James Bond, I've missed Moneypenny, and I fucking get you.
SD, there was amongst the 99 favourable SD comments, there was one comment, positive comment for me earlier actually as well, that says I put up with all the stick that you sent my way. Yes. So look, as you have told people, SD, I'm just the admin. You're the main character of the show. You're the best tipster in the game. You're also 99% of the time, but I still love you.
Oh, that's the most wonderful thing. You have a lovely Christmas, sir, and don't forget my 6 rules of maybe not having an affair, but my 6 rules of getting yourself back on track for 2026. Get into Indian food, start drinking, try a vape now and again.
Yeah. Stop going to the gym.
Well, honestly,
have an affair and go on holiday to Benidorm.
I didn't say Benidorm. I actually said Tenerife. Tenerife is very good. Very good. Nice Essie, climate.
All of your bets will be in the description as usual with the staking points advice throughout the show. I don't usually do this, but as there's so many, can I ask you which is your best bet of the Boxing Day that you've advised?
I'll give you 2. There's that one in the last at Kempton, which I think is a ridiculous price.
King of the Road is 22 to 1 each way, 3 places. Yep.
And I also like Tom Creen in the first at Sedgefield.
Yeah, and those, ladies and gentlemen, are reflected in the staking plan. Usually, SD would be 1 point each way, or 1 point win, or half a point each way. On those 2 he's mentioned, King of the Road at Kempton, Tom Creen at Sedgefield, they are 0.75 points each way. So he's fancy.
Yeah, we don't do Billy Big Bollocks. You know how these tips say, "Oh, I'm 60 points up for the year, but in reality, they've tipped one horse and had 10 points at 6-1. I mean, 1 point is your average stake, just in case you didn't know. And might I say to everybody, I really do appreciate your support. It's awfully nice when people come up to Adam and I in a racecourse. And I really hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas and have an even better Boxing Day. Now, I don't think we're going to be on Boxing Day morning, and the reason for that is we've tipped them all now. If something was to drift wildly to a backable price, I might come on, but we'll be back on the 27th when, of course, it's the Castleford Chase.
At where? Wetherby? Castleford Chase?
Yes, Castleford isn't a million miles from Wetherby. I remember Viking Flagship winning that, and David Nicholson coming in a helicopter because Chepstow had been abandoned and he was in a right mood.
Right, Merry Christmas, everybody. See
Merry
you later.
Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.